I'm pleased to say we're joined by one half of the newly crowned World Cup of Darts champions, Michael Smith. Thanks for the time. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Just plodding on.
Glad to hear it. Well, let's just start with that World Cup win a couple of weeks ago now. I've asked a few players this in the past when they've won the World Cup. It's a pairs event, but you get one trophy. So where's the trophy now, and are you and Luke taking turns looking after it?
No, the trophy, we literally had it when we got back to the hotel. It was like, we want the trophy because we knew we was going to have pictures of it in the hotel, like with our parents, the sponsors, the manager, and whoever the fans were. Luke filled it full of beer, and I don't drink beer, I only drink like gin. When I was like that, I don't drink beer or fizzy drinks or anything, so it's literally just gin and tonic. So he filled that, he had some out of that, I had this, and then we had to give it back. So not one of us has had the trophy since, but the prize money's come through, and I said to him, take money out of my prize money to order me a replica trophy like I did with the Grand Slam. So hopefully that'll be soon, and that'll go next to the World Trophy and the Grand Slam Trophy then.
Very nice. Well, thanks for bringing darts home this summer. We're hopeful that football's going to come home as well. The first time that England have won the World Cup since 2016, you got a message from Adrian Lewis saying well done. So what did it mean to you to win the World Cup yourself for the first time?
I've been trying my hardest for 3-4 years now. Like, I've wanted to get it, and it's not been nice knowing. Like, hearing people say you're going to win the World Cup because of Eddie and Phil. You've got it 4 times, you've got 4 stars, and none of them belong to you. So to finally get that 5th star and be like well, it is record breaking because no one else has got 5. So to be part of that, and only 4 players to ever do it. I know that only me and Luke's only got 1 of the stars, but to be part of that it was something special. And I think he's seen when that double 8 went in for the match, like just the way both of us felt. He was bouncing, I was nearly crying, and yeah, it just went from there. It was a tournament that, apart from the World Championships, the World Cup's got to be up there as well. It's like football, European champs and the World Cup. You want to win them both, and yeah, luckily enough, I'm one of few now to win both, and yeah, to have Luke by my side, and you see him from that final. He was hitting everything. The semis was the same. And yeah, it was a nice partnership made, and we just went in tournament favourites, and we come out just looking like it was a breeze.
Yeah, certainly looked like that. I mean, 8-3 against France. I think you lost the first leg, but came back and won that one pretty comfortably. 8-4 against Scotland and Northern Ireland. 10-6 against Austria. 100 average in the final as well, which takes some doing in the pairs format. Where does that weekend sit for you in terms of what you've achieved so far?
For me, it's definitely top 5. For me, it's Grand Slam's number 1. Obviously, World's 2nd. Probably the Youth Worlds is 3rd, because it was my first time winning on TV. I put Phil beating Phil. No, I put the World Cup before Phil, so that'll be 4th, and then Phil will be 5. When I beat him in 2013, he was defending champion then, world number 1, and he literally got my name out there. He was like looking at me then for the Premier League when I knew I was never a Premier League player, but he was asking the questions, and yeah, it's in the top 5. But with that final, it was 100 average crazy because my doubles was shocking. Like tops, every time he left me, I'd missed 3. And I said to him backstage, I apologised for him. I said because only if I could have hit tops, we would have won that game 10-1, 10-2, a lot easier than it should have been. Well, that starts, and he kept telling me I'll get the shot for the match and you won't miss. And yeah, I had 1 chance and he went straight in.
Good prediction. And we look at the England team now and the calibre of players that we've got at the top end of the PDC. Obviously next year's World Cup is a long way off, but how much of a motivation is that for you now as an individual player to keep that high ranking so that you are there at the World Cup next year?
Yeah, obviously I want to go back to defend it. Luke touched on it in the interview that he wanted me and him to go back, and sadly it doesn't work that way. But you have to look at Aspinall. I think he's been number 4 for 2 years running. He's not even had a chance, and that's the problem with English darts. There's so many in there. I know before I was under pressure going to the World Cup because he was all crying for Littler. They want this, they want a minute, they want that. But sadly enough, he was 25th, and I think he was about 12th in line or 13th in line. Then he was on about changing it to the best player on the tour, like the Pro Tour rankings, and I think he was still 8th in that. So there's no way you could have got him in. It's how tough it is. So it is motivation for me knowing if I stay there, I'm still number 1 and number 2 in England, and yeah, I was number 2 for England, but I'm still number 3 in the world. And it was weird seeing that, and yeah, it is massive just to keep working hard now to get back in there for next year.
Well, fingers crossed for you, you'll keep that spot. Let's get back to the individual events. We last had you on our show just before the World Championship. Obviously you play on that opening night against Kevin Duets. What a game that was. But what was it like for you going back to Ali Pali to defend that title that first game?
It was weird. It was literally the most weird thing was driving there and you see the sign, and then you see Ali Pali, because all year I didn't feel like a world champion. Like people say it'd hit you, it'd sink in, it never did. I did the media and the draw, and it was the first time I'd seen a trophy in like 4 months, and it had my name on it, and that's when it sunk in. But when I seen Ali Pali, it was like, oh my god, I'm actually a world champion here. And I was on the wall, I had my picture took with it and everything. Then playing darts, I was under pressure because I had to have a good game, being the world number 1 defending champion, and I just seen he played really well. And yeah, I think he missed a shot and he left me in. No, he didn't go for something, I think he left top, so he let me in for that 1-4-2 or 1-4-8, and he just changed the game completely. I started to play really well then from being 2-0 down, and I just got on with it. And yeah, just winning that opening night, it was massive, because then I knew I had virtually 2 weeks off as well, so I could either sit down, rely on my morals, or get working hard. I literally got home on the 16th, I think, and I just got straight back on the board. Christmas Day off, half a Boxing Day off, and then practiced away again for my next match.
And the title defence ends against Chris Dobie in the last 16. Did you watch any of the rest of the tournament, or did you take it as a chance to switch off from darts, have a break? 'Cause it's obviously a long year, busy year as a world champion.
Yeah, I never watched darts anyway, even ever. So like, my kids, they're not allowed to have it on the house. If they want it, they got to go upstairs and watch it in the rooms. So for that, it was just sad the way it ended, because on paper it looked like he smashed me 4-0. But I had darts in every set, I think, to win them, and it's one of them, it just happens. And I know I wouldn't have lost the next game like he did against Cross, because I'd seen the results on that, and Dobie had the high stats, high everything, it was just his doubles. And on that stage, I know I can hit doubles, I've done it every year, and I just don't think I would have lost that. And maybe it could have been me and Luke, well, whichever Luke in the final, yeah. But if I was there just to defend it again, I knew he had what it takes to win it again. I've been there 3 times before, and doing it a 4th time, I think it would have been easier than winning the year previously.
When you look back on those 12 months as world champion, world number 1, we spoke with your manager Mark Pritchard this week. He said it was like a whirlwind that first 6 months. How do you look back on the year now? Was it what you expected? Did anything surprise you at all?
I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for the commitment that it come with. So the day after, virtually, I went to the bar that night to have a few beers, get drunk. But literally the bar was shut. So I went straight to bed. I watched all the Sky Sports things on my phone. I had just the clips of it, everything. Managed to get sleep at 5. 3 hours later, it just started. That's when the chaos started. I had media from 8 till 5. Went home. Day after, I had to fly to Germany for a TV show. Day after that, I had to fly to Bahrain to start the season again. And then the Premier League started, and that just become like ridiculous. Like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, even the night I'm playing, just couldn't do this, couldn't do that, couldn't do that. And I wasn't prepared for it. I wasn't ready for it, and I know I can do it the next time. I will be ready, because like when I won the Worlds, I just virtually took a year out. Literally, I played the Premier League and all the other TV events, but apart from Pro Tours, Europeans, I didn't bother with anything. So I just know what to expect next. But yeah, that was carnage, and I think Humphreys this year's got away with it as well, especially with Littler coming through, because Littler's doing all the stuff, so he's probably seen the easy parts of it, where us were seeing the arse end of it. Basically, I got given everything. I had to do everything.
Well, let's get on to this year then. The Premier League, that's a big part of the first half of the year. You beat your good friend Nathan Aspinall to get into the playoffs, lost out to Luke Littler in the semi-final to go on to lift the title. How do you reflect on the Premier League this year?
Yeah, you want the top 4, so it was a good campaign. That's all you ever wanted. Like, you don't go into the Premier League thinking, right, finish 6th, I'll get 70 grand or whatever it was. You want to get top 4 and play for the 250 or 275. So I know we had a good campaign, but then it gets ruined. Then on that night, it just didn't click. I had chances at some doubles. There was a big finish he hit early on in the game to break me to go 3-2 up or whatever it was. And he just kicked on. I kept with him, but it was just literally I get a chance and I was missing. But it was just that one finish. I could have, if he would have missed that, I'd come back for tops. Different story then, I'm still in the game and still playing. But yeah, just that night ruined it, but it didn't. I still had a good campaign, but it was just one of them. You want to win the Premier League, don't you? You don't want to just make the semi-finals. You want to make the semis, but once you're there, it is weird.
You don't want to prop up the rest of the Premier League.
Yeah, I don't want to do a Peter White, do I? 2 years sat at bottom.
Well, let's look forward then, because you're on the verge of the World Matchplay coming up this weekend. You've had a final there before, a semi-final, quarter-final in recent years. It's a tournament fairly local to you. What would adding that one to your CV mean?
Yeah, I've done a lot of interviews. There's like 3 or 4 tournaments that I really want to win, and I've won 3 of them now. Like my 3 majors, there are 3 of them, but Matchplay is up there as well, where I've always win. But then I'll win that and I'll say, yeah, I've always wanted to win the Grand Prix because I'm rubbish at doubles. But no, they're the 3 or 4 biggest tournaments in the calendar. Obviously the Premier League, it's prize money wise, it's second to none to the Worlds. would you rather be a Premier League champion or would you rather be a match play champion is the thing. I'd rather be a match player. I'd rather be the Grand Slam where you've got the best 32 players of that year. The World Championship, you've got the best players in the world going into it. So they're the tournaments that you want to win. So yeah, match player, it's definitely on my list.
I think I'd rather win that as well,
Yeah.
but I think you're closer than I am. What a tie though to kick off your match play this year. Gary Anderson, a player that you know very well, one of the standout ties of the first round. How much do you relish these matchups with Gary on the big stage?
Yeah, I love it. I love playing all the best players. And people think I'm lying when I do interviews and they say, like, I want Van Gogh in every game, or I want Gezi, I want this. I actually do, because it tells you where you are as a player. It doesn't tell you about that day, because I could be practicing for 2-3 weeks. Like, leading up to it, I'm always doing sessions in between, but like 2-3 weeks I'll add an extra session in to get sharper. But it just tells you if you play. If you beat him and I play really well, I know I've been doing things right. If I lose, you get to look at your stats. Or if I never watch the games back, especially losses, I watch the wins. The losses, I just look at the stats, and it tells me where it went wrong. If I was like, say if I got beat 10-8 and I'm 8 out of 40 on doubles, my percentage is really low. If I'm winning, you should be like 10 out of 20, 10 out of 22 maybe. It's around about 40% what you should be doing. So it just gives them little signs. And playing someone like Gary, who's been on probably not his best form, because you know how Gary can play, but he's been on some of his best form for the last 2 years compared to recent years. So I know it's going to be a tough test. And being underneath him for 10 years, like I was in the same stable as him, but he was always the number one, even though I was high ranked, but he was always the number one in the manager's eyes. It was hard, but now I'm not there, and he tries his ass off every time to beat me, and sometimes it never works out well.
Well, just looking away from darts, we know, I was reading earlier about your farm at home full of animals, and I heard that one day you'd like to open your own caff, and it's going to be free range as well. Is that a dream for you after you finish playing, or are you looking to maybe do that whilst you're still playing?
I'd love to do it now. Like, I'm not a business person. Like, I've never have been. I have 2 houses, which my first house that I ever bought, now mum and dad live there rent free, and my house that I've got now, the farm. Never invested money, so I'd love to do something like that. It's just I'm not business minded. But yeah, we have the farm. I've literally got ducks, chickens, turkeys, geese. But then we wanted pigs for the backfield because it needs turning, it needs resetting, so they can go and do the work, root it all up, and then we'll send them off with bacon and sausages. But yeah, I know it sounds bad saying it, but that's what animals are for, really, are they, some of them. But yeah, I want to open up my own caff, and everything that you get from there comes from my field, basically. And I won't have a caff where you can get your salads or anything like that. It's just purely meat based only. And it's something that it could kick off, but I know I'm doing everything myself, so it's kind of rewarding as well. I know where it's come from, I know where it's been fed, I know where it's been slaughtered, I know how it's been prepared. And when you go to some places now, you don't know where it's coming from, or how long it's been sat there for. So not only for my thing, like, and I'm feeding my kids as well, they know everything that's going into it. And I think it'd be a good idea. I really want to do it. Have I got time to do it? Is a problem. Like, I think once my mum and dad retire from the pub game, maybe then I open it. I think my mum and dad's 60 now, 61 as well. So maybe another 2 or 3 years. So I've got plans to knock down the barn we've got in the house on my land, and I'm going to build that for like my wife and my kids forever home. But the house we're in now, I'll move my mum and dad to that, sell the one in St Helens, and then I can use that money then to set up the business, and mum and dad can work in that then.
Nice. And I read as well in the caff you'd call it the Bully Boys breakfast, after your darts nickname, of course. So we've got to ask you, what would be included in your full English?
I don't know. It's hard now because I'm on this the carnivore thing. It literally just like bacon, sausages, eggs, but everything will be like free range. People can have beans if they want, the tomatoes, the black pudding won't be served in there. It's the worst thing in the world. But yeah, it's up to them really. I think after a month or two you kind of figure out how people were. But like, I'm not going to shout out, I'm a big lad as well that I can eat, so they won't be like little tiny portions as well. It'll be proper like American style breakfasts type thing where you can get your steaks and eggs and everything like that. So yeah, it'd be good, and it'd be reasonably priced where I'll just go around a few calves and like undercut them and see where they are and just get all the prices. But no, it'd just be reasonably priced. I know like how hard it's getting at the minute with the economy and everything. and yeah, just try to make it a family business where families can come and enjoy and relax, and yeah, the kids can have fun as well.
Look forward to it. And we'll finish up with a few questions on your sponsors. Shot, you've been with them for around about a year now, but you recently signed a 7-year extension with them as your darts manufacturer. So you and Shot must both be pleased with how the first year went.
Yeah, of course. It could have been better. Like, I could have won more titles and more stuff, and it's just the pressure that, because I'd moved with them and I was like number 1 in the world, but people thought I'd left for money, I'd left for this, but I actually signed with Shot in 21. I think I didn't sign because that would have been like on a different contract with Unicorn, but I actually agreed, handshaked. I was going to them in July of 23, so we've worked on darts for 2 years. We got everything right, everything perfect, and it was just a pressure then, because I knew what I was doing with the darts in practice. I wanted to win them a Pro Tour, a European, a World Series, and obviously a major, and I only did 2 out of 3, and I waited till the last day of the first year of the contract to get them the major with the World Cup, so I can get out of my mind a bit, the pressure leaves. But yeah, signing that deal with him, Peter sent me a thing through, do you want to do this, do you want to do that? And the only reason it's 7 years, he was like, I want to do it till I'm 40 with a plan. On the last question about the barn, we're going to make it to a forever home. The first 2 years of the contract, it's going to pay for my kids' school fees till they're 18, and then the next 5 years then it pays for the new build, the new house, so I'm not using my own money effectively. I'll just live off with the retainers and stuff they send. That'll pay for everything, the bonuses of dart sales, that'd be my back pocket type thing. But yeah, it was just a partnership made in heaven. They wanted me to put them on the map across here, and I wanted to get on the map in like New Zealand, Australia, America, and I think that's what they sold it with, and he lived up to that as well. It wasn't a fake promise or come do this, but we might do this. It was, you come here, we'll do this, we will do it, we'll do it tomorrow, we'll do this. And even when I need a new set of darts, I message him, say, right, my darts a bit knackered, my flight, I've got no flights left, I need some stems. Coming from New Zealand, I'm in the post, and I get them like 4 or 5 days later. And I'd never had anything sent that quick ever, even when I was with Unicorn, which is an English-based company. It took months to get a set of darts. And it was just, it wasn't, I keep going back to it, wasn't fake promises, it was, he told me what was going to happen, it just happened. And that 7-year deal, when he offered me, I was like, yep, give me the pen and paper, it doesn't matter what was on it, how much money or this, that or not. It's just with Shot, it's a family business, I'm a family man, I'll do everything for my kids, my wife, and it just clicked, and yeah, it's just a match made in heaven for me.
Happy days. And lastly, away from the darts, we've seen you been a bit unlucky with a few of your bets on the Euros in the football. Have you had any winners yet, and any tips for the final?
No, I had another loss last night. I think he had 40-1. The corners let me down. He had Kane to score, Van Dijk to be booked, 2.5 goals, 2.5 bookings, 9 corners. I think it was 3 in the 4 match. That lost me another $4,000. But no, I had one winner. I think I've done a bet. But I didn't bet in the group stages, but every game from the group stages, so I probably lost about 1,200 quid, 1,300 quid, and then nothing. But the final, I'm going to back Kane again, because I think it's him and Olmo top goal scorers at the minute with 3 goals. So I'm going to back Kane for the golden boot, just get his goal, part of the bet. I'm going to leave the corners alone. Yeah, I just hope England win. I think both teams will score, but I think England will come out on top. I think you've seen it with Holland going in front so early in that game. We started to play, but then the second half we kind of sat back, and I was kicking off. Literally the 70th minute as well, I was shouting at the TV. You can ask Joey as well, or my missus. It's like, take Kane off, bring Watkins on so we can be a team. Watkins plays the channel so well. He doesn't drop back like as a CDM. Brought him on, Palmer passed the ball, and yeah, the rest is history. So, and I think we've got to drop Kane for the final if we want to win somewhere. He's never won a team title before, has he? So I think we need to do that. But no, my bet will be Kane to score, England to win 2-1. I'd love it to be 10-1, but I think England to win 2-1, and it will be extra time. Please not extra time. My heart will take it. But yeah, hopefully England will win.
Well, let's hope that happens, Michael. Always a pleasure to chat.
Yeah,
Best of luck with the World Matchplay and what else is to come in 2024 as well.
Cheers, Ray. Thank you.